Level Up is a regular podcast that brings you topics to help you perform at work and in life at your very highest level. Your host is Dan Kyoto, an executive coach, corporate trainer, and author. He is president of Impact Training and Executive Coaching. And now, here's Dan.
Thank you, Jesse, and welcome everyone to Level Up. Today, we're going to go in two different directions. Not because we lack focus, but because we have a person who does two very inspiring things. She expertly heads down two different roads that combine to create a great organization. One of them is a way to handle stress. The other one is an entrepreneurial dream. So my guest has a business in the Midwest, and that is called Rejuvenation Therapeutic Massage. But the business I'm talking about is Alchemist Haven. So we're going to learn about that too. I want to welcome my expert today, Angela Harris. Welcome, Angela.
Thank you, Dan. It's great to be here. I'm very honored that you would ask me to speak about my little piece of sky.
Well, little piece, I'm telling you, you have achieved some great things. And we want to talk about that. I'd like you to start and tell us how you got started in massage. Let's start there.
Well, it's a funny story, Dan. I honestly thought massage was something that rich people did. That I had barely even had a pedicure at this point in my life when I had looked into massage therapy, and I've always been into fitness. Working out's always been very important. And I was working and going to college at the same time at a factory in one of our local towns. And I came across a massage, basically correspondence type school, and thought, massage that'd be a cool thing to put in my little toolbox. That would be a great thing. It was a correspondence class. I figured, no problem. I had done several continuing educations for fitness instructing. So I figured it would be along those lines. The little did I know, God was nudging me in my direction. And so I got nudged and fell into it. And it was a whole new world for me, truly. I attended a course in Colorado that was fantastic. And then came back home, started working with a chiropractor. And from then on, it just grew. And my practice now, I have 600 plus clients. Of course, I don't see them all in 1 week, but intermittently, of course. And my massage definitely went more medical than fluffy. I think fluffy and relaxation is great. All massages are going to be somewhat medical because they have such an endorphin release. Good things come from massage: relaxation, lowered cortisol, lowered heart rate. You're just happier in general, but that's what endorphins do too. So very, very good for you. But that's how it all started. It was not on purpose. It was a correspondence course that grew into something greater.
Everyone tries to discover what their purpose is. And when you're someone who finds the things that you were meant to provide and to do, it's just really great.
It's a blessing, truly.
100 plus clients. So tell us, you must do something differently to get that many folks coming back. What makes you different at massage?
I feel what makes my massages different compared to other therapists, which, like I said, all massages are great. And there's a different shoe for every foot kind of thing. Not every massage is going to be suited for one person. But I can tell you, if a massage therapist will listen to her people instead of doing that cookie cutter massage, she'll gain a clientele that she can't keep up with. The one thing that I do that I know a lot of therapists don't do is listen to their people. You listen to their needs. What's hurting today? Tell me what your week was like. How much water have you had to drink? Are you doing okay emotionally? All these things. It is medicine. Everything you do in your life is medicine, not just going to the doctor. Sunlight is medicine. Water is medicine. The right food is medicine. And massage acts as medicine too. I think massage is a big reset button for your body. So the therapist listening to her people has more of that intuition to know what to do, what she needs to do, what she needs to work on, the type of environment offered. Maybe even it comes down to the music. There were times when I first started doing massage, I would match the color of the sheets to the people, what they enjoy, what they like, their favorite colors and their favorite candy I would have for them and their favorite music. I would switch, CDs. That's back in the days when we had CDs. But of course it's not like that now. But that's just an example of what you can do to make your person feel welcome and it make it more inviting for them to want to come back.
Yes, that is good. That is, and to listen to your audience, we always talk about that you need to listen to the people you serve. And I think sometimes we learn something and then apply it or have products and services that we offer, but it might not be what the person wants. So
right.
Massage, we just ask them what it is they're looking for. Do you find that people like to talk about fitness then when you're doing the massage?
Very much. Yes. I get so many questions, Dan, from what type of fitness should I do? How many times a week should I exercise? What kind of diet should I do? And one thing I've realized, we are definitely not all created equal. And going with massage therapy nutrition goes along very much. I'm a huge believer in finding out what works for you. There's nothing usually that works for every single person, the same type of whatever. Autoimmune diseases cause a lot of issues. Once again, massage is wonderful for that. The digestive issues, so many times it's anxiety and pressure and stress in itself. The people that can't lose weight, 9 times out of 10, it's their stressful lifestyle, not going to bed soon enough. That can cause issues as well. You do not get the proper hormonal output when you're not giving your body the adequate rest it needs. So massage can act as a crutch for that. It can actually help supplement. Getting a massage is the equivalent of getting 8 hours worth of sleep. So that's how much work it takes off your body. That's why people feel so good usually after they're done. It's lymphatically, we've pushed all that fluid around for you. So that's another bonus.
That's why you feel so good after a massage.
Yes.
Do you find that most people would rather just not talk during the massage? Or do you find that they really want to?
I leave that up to them. That's one of those open-ended. I'm very, very, very honest at the beginning of the massage. I'm like, hey, if you want me to shut my mouth, please tell me. I'll follow your lead. And if you want to talk, let's talk. If you want to just be quiet, let's be quiet. This is your massage. We'll just take it from where you lead. So most of the time, almost, I would say 80% of my clients want to talk. Whether it's about family, their children, their job, relationship issues, national happenings, the weather. I mean, it's travel. A lot of my people travel, so they're always telling me. I get to go all over the world through my people's stories.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, for people who maybe haven't tried massage before, occasionally, I'm a great believer in it, but occasionally you'll meet people who have never tried it before, and I always try to tell them it can make a big difference in your life. And there are very few things I find that time just goes so quickly with something so relaxing. I just feel like
it's true. It's true.
An hour is gone, 90 minutes is gone. But for those people who maybe haven't tried it before, could you tell us a couple different types of massage that they might come to you and say which one they would like?
Sure. Swedish massage is what people are going to be most familiar with, Dan. It's your basic effleurage, petrissage, just gentle movement. There isn't a lot of deep tissue work that goes on in that. I'm a therapist that I mainly get hit with deep tissue work. That's what people come to me for the most part. Knowing your origins and insertion of muscle tissue, passive and active movements that you can do to help reset muscle links. That's kind of my specialty. But I have people come to me for hot stone therapy, for certain aromatherapies during basic massage, for reflexology, for cupping. I do a lymphatic work like fascia blasting. So there are several different modalities. 90% of people want deep tissue work.
Well, now we've learned a lot about Angela's rejuvenation therapeutic massage, but we're going to learn more about her other business when we come back. I am your host, Dan Chiodo, and my guest today is Angela Harris. On the flip side, we'll learn more about what she does. And yes, this is Level Up. We'll be right back after this.
If you're like most people, your thoughts tend to bounce all over the place. And when you are stressed or worried, they naturally gravitate towards the negative. Many are so accustomed to allowing negative thoughts, worry, fear, and stress to dominate their thinking, they don't even realize they're doing it. Some even feel guilty if they're not constantly thinking about their problems. Mind walking is a daily 15-minute exercise where you practice thinking on purpose while you walk. Just walk and listen as success coach Bill Mansell guides you through the mind walking exercises. In just 15 minutes a day, you'll learn how to get your mind's attention and focus your thoughts towards what's right in your life now and what you want to create in your future. Visit mindperk.com to learn more and purchase the Mind Walking program.
Welcome back. This is Dan Chiodo, and my guest today is Angela Harris. She's talked all about her rejuvenation therapeutic massage, but now we want to learn more about her other business, the one that sends product nationwide. And it is called Alchemist Haven. So, Angela, let's talk about Alchemist Haven. How did you come up with that name?
Well, working with as many people as I do, Dan, they're all so different. And I've always been fascinated with antiquity. So alchemy was the precursor to chemistry, and alchemy was not exact. I always joke about, I'm always one to round things up, or it's never exact with me. How I do massage, it's never the same for each person. I have my own alchemy with my people. I assess what they need for that day and I do it. And my daughter's name is Haven, which is safe place. So, and people often will not say what they really think out of fear of what other people will say. So I thought, what a great thought to have a place that people could come, first of all, to get a service like massage that they wanted and have that exactly tailored to them, but also to make a product like a perfume oil or just some of my products that I offer that can be tailored to fit. They can securely, in their own little safe place, pick out what they love. No one's judging or being harsh. It's like you can just pick what you want. So Alchemist Haven just means a safe place to get exactly what you want. And that's how I feel. Haven is that safe place, and I want them to feel safe when they're here. They can choose what they want in this great environment that I've created and create something they love too.
That's wonderful. And so you have created substances, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have over 56. The last time Jesse told me, I think it was 57 different fragrances that I've created for different people that I actually I've had labels made for. Now, there are countless more that I've made for people that aren't ones that I put out there for alchemists. They are just tailored to fit that person.
Mm-hmm. That is great. I was thinking about you the other day when I read an article about Estee Lauder. It's actually about her son, who is still living and running the company. And he talked about how she created that company. And it was done all at home. And she would create those products and go out and help people's lives change by looking at her beautiful. And so it was so interesting to look at that. It also talked about some of her setbacks in her own life and in creating the business. Have you ever faced any setbacks at all?
Never, Dan. Yes. There's a lot of competition out there for especially this type business. And I wanted Alchemist Haven to be different in the way that we took antiquity. And we have a lot of answers in the past. We forget all the answers of the past because we're always looking the future. And it's great to be progressive and be in the future. But what things of the past have we forgotten that are simple and good? People have a lot of sickness today that wasn't 100 years ago, where they dealt with starvation or simple things that could be cured with penicillin. Today, we deal with heart disease and all kinds of autoimmune dysfunctions. And it's caused from the chemicals and the toxins that are that have been introduced to us. So our health and beauty items, people don't think a thing about putting lipstick on. Do you know what it is and where it came from? And you absorb more from a 10-minute shower than you do taking a handful of vitamins. So if your water is tainted with any kind of toxin, chlorine and fluoride, where necessary, yes, once again, for the masses, they're very hard on the thyroid. So when you look at all the people that have thyroid dysfunction, toxins are very hard on the thyroid. My plight with Alchemist was to create things that had such few ingredients that your body, and they would still have a shelf life, but your body could understand what they are, and then you could process it instead of it being stored, a toxin being tucked away and stored, and then eventually causing some type of dis-ease in the body.
That is so interesting to see how you invented that and created this. Some people have product lines of things that they purchase, but you have made your own.
Nearly everything. Nay, 2 different products that I'm still working on. I would like to make a mascara and then also a foundation powder or cream, working on preservation methods because I don't use traditional preserving methods. I don't want those chemicals in something that's going on your skin that will be absorbed. I mean, within seconds, it's into your bloodstream. So if I can't do it naturally, I probably won't make it. So
that is just amazing. You know, it must be interesting too. You have a daughter, you're raising a daughter. And how old is she?
She's 9.
9 years old. So still, you're handling all those things.
Yeah. Yes.
And raising a daughter.
Yes.
And research shows that women are much better at multitasking. So it must take a lot of that to make this happen.
Multitasking is definitely one of my fortes. I don't even think I could function if I didn't multitask. Dan, I'm over here typing a letter as we speak.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Tell me too, when you go to invent these, the things that you talk about, mascara and other things, where do you do that? Do you have to have complete quiet, and are you doing it at home or there?
The funny thing, Dan, I actually get these thoughts when I'm at home with my daughter and we're doing something. We could be planting things in the yard and I'm like, oh my gosh, activated charcoal would be a great ingredient in that. And then I start my research and I'll start looking things up. But it's usually when I'm doing something, there is a saying, and I probably will just mess it up terribly, but it's need basically is the mother of innovation. And it's true. When we need something, we figure out a way to attain it. And you look at America just across the board, and that has been, the innovation has come out of the need for, quicker harvesting of our vegetables, or things that can keep our water clean, the necessities of life that we have. it comes from the need. That's why people's brains start working. It's the need of something.
Most people, though, don't go as deep as you do to actually.
I know it's a blessing and a curse.
It's wonderful. And you just said something that I have talked about before, and I think is so interesting, that it's usually when you are not necessarily at a desk or thinking about work, you're away, that the right brain takes over and you start thinking creatively, inventing things or whatever it is. So that's kind of the way you're operating too. That's
100%. Yeah. And if clients come to me and say, just recently I had a client come and need a dry shampoo. So I, got to researching what would be the best way to make a dry shampoo. And it turned out to be a winner. I've sold every bottle I made. So that's going to be a staple thing that I do now is a dry shampoo. And it consists of such simple ingredients. It's arrowroot powder and baking soda and some activated charcoal for the darker haired girls. And that's it, Dan, and some essential oils. That's how simple it can be. And it's so much healthier for you. The chemicals aren't there. In my opinion, and people, we hear this, but if you can't pronounce it, don't use it. You don't need to. If people would do that and go through their kitchen counter, they would throw a ton of stuff away.
Angela, you are a breath of fresh air. Your resilience to make these organizations run so well is just amazing. And your creativity, all that you add to this. So thank you so much for joining us today for Level Up. And to our viewers, thank you for joining us too. You'll have so much of the valuable information that Angela gave you in your show notes. So be sure to look for those. And we'll be saving you a front row seat at the next Level Up. Now, Dustin, it's a wrap. Take us out. Cheers.
If you feel like this information was valuable to you, Dan would love it if you'd click the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or thoughts about today's episode, please leave a comment. Also, if you're a first-time subscriber, be sure to ring that bell to be notified about future episodes. To learn more about what Impact Training and Development can do for you and your business, visit impactbydan.com, where you can find more information about executive coaching, corporate training, keynote speaking, and much more. Thanks so much for watching.